10 minutes. That is the documented average window between the first confirmed threat report and the point at which civilian evacuation routes in a mid-sized city become impassable. Not an hour, not 30 minutes, 10. And in those 10 minutes, most people will spend the first 4 trying to decide what to do, the next 3 grabbing the wrong things, and the final 3 stuck in a doorway waiting for a family member who is still looking for their phone charger. By the time they leave, the window is gone. What separates the people who make it from the people who do not is not strength, not luck, and not resources. It is a decision made before the 10 minutes started. These are the 6 things that decision looks like. 1. Stop thinking, start executing a pre-made decision. The single most dangerous thing you can do in the first 60 seconds of a confirmed threat is think. Not because thinking is wrong, because under acute stress, the brain's prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for rational decision making, loses blood flow within seconds as the body redirects resources to physical response systems. A person trying to reason through options in minute 1 of a real evacuation is operating with a brain that is physiologically incapable of the reasoning they are attempting. The military term for what replaces thinking is a go order, a pre-decided binary trigger that converts a situation assessment into immediate action without deliberation. Your go order is a single sentence decided right now in calm conditions that covers every scenario. If I hear sustained explosions within 5 kilometers, I leave immediately using route A, full stop. No assessment, no verification, no waiting for official confirmation. Official confirmation in an urban conflict scenario arrives an average of 11 minutes after the threat is already present, which means waiting for it costs you your entire evacuation window before you have moved a single step. 2. Your bag is already packed or you are leaving without one. Research on civilian evacuation behavior across multiple conflict events consistently documents the same fatal pattern. People who did not have a pre-packed bag spent between 4 and 7 minutes gathering items before leaving. 4 to 7 minutes of your 10-minute window spent in a stationary position inside a building that may already be a target. The math is not survivable. The bag contains exactly 7 items and nothing else. Water for 24 hours per person, a first aid kit, cash in small denominations, physical copies of critical documents in a waterproof sleeve, a fully charged battery pack with your phone already connected, a change of clothes per person, and a 3-day medication supply for anyone in your household who requires daily medication. That is the complete list. Everything else is weight that slows your movement and time that shortens your window. The bag lives at the same location permanently, not in a closet, not under a bed, at the door. Grabbing it takes 4 seconds. Packing it takes 4 minutes you do not have. 3. Your route is decided and your backup route is decided. GPS navigation fails in urban conflict environments for 3 documented reasons. Cell tower overload from simultaneous high-volume usage collapses data networks within minutes of a mass emergency. Power grid failure takes cell infrastructure offline, and in active conflict areas, deliberate signal interference is a documented tactic. A person who depends on their phone for navigation in a 10-minute evacuation window is planning to navigate blind. Your primary route is memorized, not stored. You have driven or walked it at least once in daylight. You know the 2 decision points where you turn, the landmark that confirms you are on the correct road, and the estimated travel time at walking pace if the vehicle becomes unusable. Your backup route avoids the main arterial roads entirely, because arterial roads in any urban evacuation become gridlocked within 6 to 8 minutes of a mass departure trigger, documented consistently across every major civilian evacuation event on record. Your backup uses secondary streets, is also memorized, and arrives at the same destination by a different path. 2 routes, both known, neither requiring a phone. 4. Every person in your household has a specific role that starts immediately. The most common cause of time loss in family evacuations is not indecision by one person. It is simultaneous decision-making by multiple people who are all trying to do the same thing at the same time. 2 adults both grabbing the bag, 2 people both trying to account for the same child, everyone moving toward the door at the same moment and colliding in the hallway. This coordination failure under stress is not a character flaw. It is the predictable result of having no pre assigned roles. Roles are assigned now in a 5-minute family conversation and rehearsed once. Person 1 takes the bag and moves to the vehicle immediately. No stops, no additional gathering. Person 2 accounts for every child and every dependent and moves them directly to the vehicle. Person 3, if present, does one 30-second sweep of the predetermined short list. Medications from the bathroom cabinet, the document sleeve, if it is not already in the bag, and the dog. The sweep has a hard 30-second limit regardless of what has not been found. Roles eliminate the collision. The 30-second limit eliminates the sweep, becoming a full repacking session. 5. Your destination and your out-of-area contact are established before you move. Leaving without a destination is not evacuation, it is displacement. The documented outcomes for civilian populations who evacuated without a pre-established destination show dramatically higher rates of secondary harm. People who drove away from danger and into a different danger because they were making navigation decisions under maximum stress with no reference point. Your destination is specific, not a general direction, a specific address that you can reach, that someone at that address knows to expect you, and that is located outside the likely impact radius of the threat you are evacuating from. Your out-of-area contact is a single person located outside your city who becomes the communication hub for your entire family. When you leave, you send one message to that contact with your departure time, your route, and your destination. Every family member who is not with you sends the same message to the same contact. The out-of-area contact has a functioning phone line when local infrastructure does not, because they are outside the overloaded network zone. They are the single point that knows where everyone is when local communication has failed. This contact is designated now, has agreed to the role, and has everyone's information already. 6. You leave before you are certain, or you do not leave at all. This is the point that determines everything else and the one that most people get wrong. Every piece of preparation in this video is rendered useless by one psychological pattern that is documented across civilian populations in every conflict zone studied: the wait for certainty. People who had bags packed, routes memorized, and destinations established still died or were trapped because they waited for confirmation before acting. They heard the explosions and waited to see if they would continue. They saw the smoke and waited to find out where it was coming from. They received the warning and waited to see if the official evacuation order would follow. The evacuation order in an urban conflict scenario arrives on average 14 minutes after the threat has already made orderly evacuation impossible. By the time certainty arrives, the routes are blocked, the fuel stations are empty, and the 10-minute window closed 11 minutes ago. The decision rule that keeps people alive is not certainty, it is threshold. Define your threshold right now. What specific observable event means you leave immediately without waiting for anything else? Write it down. Tell everyone in your household what it is. When that threshold is crossed, the pre-made decision executes. Waiting for more information after the threshold is crossed is not caution. It is the mistake that ends the story. Have the 5-minute family conversation tonight. Set the bag by the door this weekend. Because the people who survive a 10-minute window are not the ones who packed fastest. They are the ones who are already ready. The next video covers what your partner needs to know before that window opens, because the most dangerous person in a 10-minute evacuation is the one standing next to you who has never thought about this once.